it's Nina Carmichael, and we make these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get the push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael. If you want to learn everything that you surrounded by is keeping you poor. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, raise your standards.
One of the hardest things in the world to do is to raise your standards. Everything that you are surrounded by keeps you where you are. Your friends, your family, the media you consume, your habits, everything. Your environment has been perfectly created to keep you exactly where you are right now. If you want to raise your standards, you need to raise your environment. I met up with a friend of mine recently who I've known for 12 plus years. And he was talking about how much I changed over the years. And for those of you hardcore fans of mine, you can go back on my content and see how much I've changed. But specifically for him, he's an entrepreneur. I've seen his business grow over the years. And he talked about how much more willing I was to be truthful, to be honest, to push him when it was uncomfortable, and believe in him even harder, to say the things that are uncomfortable that need to be said that will help him get to where he needs to be, to believe in people more than they believe in themselves. He's seen the changes in me and how much more direct I am, how much more confident I am, and how that's helped him directly in his business and his life. Where did that come from? It came from my videos. If you go back and watch my old content, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I loved what I was talking about. I thought it could help, but I didn't have the emotional commitment to the words. A lot of my messaging and belief has stayed the same, but my confidence and my commitment and my standards have raised because of the videos that I consume, because my environment was a certain way and it was pretty good. But now in watching my own channel, watching my own content, being a subscriber to myself, making my videos for me, and then sharing it with the world, I feel like I have all these people on my wall and more in my ear every day. I've got Steve Jobs talking to me every day. I got Oprah Winfrey in this ear. I got Elon Musk back over here. I've got all these people every day, all these successful people in my ears constantly. When you are around successful people, you will become more successful. When you hang around these people, you will start to think like they think. You will adopt their mindset. You will see the world the way that they see the world. And so you have a choice. Look at your current environment. Look at the people who you're currently hanging out with. Look at the media that you are currently consuming. Does it lift you up? Does it build you to be a better version of you? The thing that you want to go off and do, the thing that you need most in your life, are you surrounding yourself with that enough in your environment? Are you taking enough of it in? I want more belief in my life, and so I get a daily injection of belief through my channel, right? I inject myself with belief every day so that if you come around me and you've got a cold and you sneeze on me, right? You're a negative person, you're pessimistic, you sneeze on me with your negativity, I'm good because I have so much belief in me from the injection. But if you're not as solid, if you're not as strong, if your environment doesn't support that, then you stay where you are, or worse, you start to go negative. And so I've grown in my abilities, in my confidence, in my skill set, in my mindset by being around the people that I profile on my channel every single day. When you raise your environment, you raise your standards. So I'm going to give you a 3-step process that you can use to also raise your environment and raise your standards and get to where you want to go in life. Here we go. Determine your one word. I wrote a book, Your One Word. You can pick it up or just quickly go through this exercise where you think about what is your one word most important core value. You are a human being, and every human has a single most important core value. For me, it's belief. Whatever you figure it out, it's always something positive. I've never had somebody's one word be hate or death. It's always something positive, but it's an aspirational thing. For me, I want to believe more in myself and others, even more so than I do right now. Your one word, your most important core value is aspirational. Whether it's freedom or inspire or motivate or care or belong or family or extraordinary or believe, whatever it is, it's a personal choice. But whatever you pick, whatever your most important core value one word is, that's what you need more in life. That's what you need to surround yourself more with. And so the very first step to figure out what kind of environment you want to make, this might not mean anything to you. People ask me can I buy those posters? Well, this is a picture of me and my parents when I'm like 9 years old. You want a picture of me and my parents on your wall? This is the environment for me, designed around belief. you need to start by figuring out what is your one word most important core value. Step number 2 is then you create an environment around it. You think about what's on the walls. This is the easiest part. What's on the walls? When you walk into the place where you are working, what's on the walls? What's on the background of your computer screen? What's on the background of your cell phone? When you load this, we're loading this how many times a day? What's the message that hits you? Design your environment. The beautiful thing about designing an environment is you do it once. I figured out that these people meant something to me. Every poster back here tells a story that's personal to me. I like being in here and having Steve Jobs staring me down, my favorite entrepreneur, A.P. Giannini behind me, my parents, Howard, Kanye. I like having these people on my wall. They all tell me a story. It's a reminder every time I walk in, boom, they're hitting me in the face. And the beautiful thing is, I only had to do that once. I had to sit down and figure out what I wanted to have on my walls. I had to go off and create the posters and buy them. And then that's it. You set your environment up once, and then it motivates you every day forever. And so your office environment, what's on the desk, what's on your computer screen, what's on your cell phone, what's in your bedroom, what's on the mirror, design your environment once around your one word. So this means believe to me. Figure out your one word and then create your environment around it. And step number 3 is establish a morning routine to lift you up. So again, once you figure out your one word, you've created your environment, now we got to do daily habits. What's the thing that helps make you feel your one word on a daily basis? If you did the thing that helped make you feel your one word, your most important core value, that makes you feel bold, confident, powerful, unstoppable, you did that thing every single morning, your life would be dramatically different. You will force yourself to raise your standards through your habits and your routine. So what is the thing for you that makes you come alive? For me, how do I get believe in the morning? I have to think about an entrepreneur that I helped yesterday. So much of what I do is just in front of, I'm talking to a camera. You know, my wife is here in front of me doing her work. I got these people behind me on the walls, but I'm just sitting here talking into a camera. It's easy to forget the impact that my work has. It's easy to get up and just live life when there's nothing forcing you to have to get better. And so I remind myself of the impact that I had yesterday. I think about an entrepreneur that I helped out through my content, through my one-on-ones, and then I have to share a message. The sharing the message makes me feel like I'm contributing again. That's what makes me feel believe. That's how I have to start my day. If I don't do that, I don't have as good a day. So whatever the thing is, when you figure out your one word, whatever the thing is that makes you feel that emotion, not just checking the box of, yeah, I did it. You have to feel that every day. If you did that first thing every morning, your life will be dramatically different. So number 1, figure out what your one word is. Number 2, design an environment around it. And number 3, create a morning routine that will lift you up.
Rule number 2, focus.
The problem is not that you're not a genius. The problem is not that you don't have great ideas. The problem is that you are not focused. You haven't said that this is the thing. This is what I have to accomplish today. This is the mission that I am on, and nothing is going to stop me. If you don't learn to focus on what's important to you, you'll never do important things and live your life reacting to what's important to other people instead. So I recently started a new business with one of my Thought Leadership Academy students, Jeremy. He came to my event last year. I was thinking about him on my tour this year and said, I want to start a business with Jeremy around YouTube consulting. I get asked a lot, hey Evan, can you check out my channel? Hey Evan, can I work with you? Hey Evan, can I hire you for XYZ, looking at my channel, giving me ideas, mentoring, guiding me. And it's just not the business that I want to be in, but it is a business. And so I thought, Jeremy's going to come on board. He's going to do it. Now, when I recruited him and called him, he was not a YouTube expert. And I gave him the homework and said, listen, if you want to do this business together, it's got to be important to you. I'm halfway through my trip on my tour. I'm coming back in a month and a half. Here's what I need you to know by the end of the month and a half. And I gave him resources, I gave him videos, I gave him insights and analytics and said, you need to know all of this. Know all of this. And then when I come back, if you're ready, we'll start the business. And he did. He focused. He made it his priority. He knew nothing about this. And all of a sudden he became an expert by every day, all day long, grinding to learn. By researching everybody who is an expert at this, understanding their methodologies, their best practices, looking through all my videos, my thumbnails, my strategies, all the things that I've talked about in the past, digesting it, kind of like the Matrix, when Neo's in the Matrix and now he can learn Kung Fu and now he learns how to fly a helicopter, all of that stuff. That's basically what he did. And when it came back in a month and a half, I put him to the test and said, hey, let's do 2 free calls. We'll take 2 people from my community and say, hey, free call, let's go. And he blew me away with how much he knew because he focused on it. Here's a guy who went from knowing almost zero to now being an expert to be able to really help give value to people. And now when we're looking at new people coming in, I barely have to do anything because he already knows what I'm going to say. He already knows. He's already done the work. He's done the research because he spent that time on focused effort. And this is where I think a lot of people feel like they're never going to win because you may not have had the expertise, you don't have the education. It doesn't take long to become an expert. It's just focused work that you're passionate about. Focused work. You could quickly become, in a matter of months, an expert at something if you just focus in on it and dedicate your life to that thing that you love. You can easily pass people who are experts at something who don't love their thing, but because you're willing to take it on, you're willing to absorb. Think about when you went to school. How much of the information you had in your head, but you had to read over the page 4 times. So you're at the same page 4, 5, 6 times because you got lost, you got distracted. That's not focused work because you don't love that thing. But when you love something, how much faster do you retain it? How much more enjoyable is the learning process? How much better are you really quickly because you love doing that thing? And so Jeremy got really good really quickly because he loved it, because he attacked it, because he focused on it, because he made it a priority, because he didn't say, well, I'll spend half an hour a week trying this new thing. No, that's not how you win. Now, where do we go from here? We'll see. Does Jeremy want to be a one-man band forever? Does he just want to be a high-paid consultant? Does he want to then bring on a team? Does he want to expand? Does he want to have products? We'll see. We'll see how that business evolves and flows. But he got here in a really short amount of time because of that focused effort and energy. And that's what I want for you. I want you to take that big idea that you have. I want you to take the thing that you have great ideas. You're a genius. You are a genius. Why are you not winning? Why are dummies winning from the same ideas as you, from like a half-baked version of your idea? They're off winning because they focused on it. That's the only difference. The thing missing in your business's success story is a lack of focus and a lack of momentum. I want to change that. I'm going to give you a 3-step process on how to do it. Step number 1, what is the most important thing right now? Like, what is the most important goal that you need to work on right now? That if you did this thing, that you worked on this thing, it would potentially have a big impact on your business. What is it? You have a million ideas. Your list of ideas is not going to get shorter, by the way. As you get older, you're just going to add more and more and more and more to your list of potential ideas. It's amazing. But which one on that list, which one that if you just focused your time, that I've said, here's a gift of 8 hours, go crush something, what would you pick? What's the most important thing to you right now? Get clarity on it. Number 2 is schedule for success. Successful people have schedules that support them. What is a schedule that you need to have? Success is habits. Success is looking at your calendar and saying, if I did this work, what's in my calendar? If I did this for the next week, am I going to move closer to my goals or not? Am I building momentum or not? Don't schedule according to other people's goals. Schedule according to your goals and put everything in there. How much time do you want to spend as a father, as a mother, as a husband, as a wife, as a son or as a daughter, as a friend? How much time do you need for yourself? How much time do you need to sleep? Put it in. Create your calendar. This is your life. Build your ideal life. Because if you don't schedule, if you don't have a sense of like, if I did these things, this is what's going to lead to my happiness and my joy, you're never going to get it. There's always going to be demands for your time. There's always going to be something that somebody wants to pull you in on. There's always going to be another pressure from the outside, and you won't have the strength to say no because you don't know what you're doing. Right? It's easy for somebody to pull you away, move you off your rock when you're not stable on your rock. I want you to have a foundation. You're standing on a pillar, a rock that goes right to the core of the earth. That nobody's pushing me from this rock because I'm on a mission. I'm going to accomplish my goals. This is what's important to me to build the life that I want for myself, my family, my community. Schedule for success. Put it into your calendar. That one most important goal that you have, that you laid out in step number 1, that one most important goal, you have to have time for it every week. There has to be somewhere in your calendar where you're spending time on that. If your goal is I need to write a book's not going to write itself. You're never going to magically have free time to do it. You have to block off time in your calendar to make sure that it happens. And step number 3 is create an environment of excellence. An environment of excellence. You want to create an environment that lifts you up, that gives you motivation, that boosts you. It's everything from your physical environment. Look at mine. Like, these people are here on the wall for a reason. They may not mean anything to you, right? You probably know him, and most of you won't know all the people in between there. That's okay. They mean something to me. They mean something to me. This is my environment of excellence. What's yours? When you walk into your office, your bedroom, your basement, wherever you're working, your car, does it boost you? Does it make you come alive? Doing this, setting this office up, is a one-time thing. And then every day I walk in and it's a reminder. It's a reminder to play bigger. It's a reminder to believe in myself more. It's a reminder to chase down excellence. It's a reminder to not stay comfortable. Build your own environment of excellence.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that, if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below.
So I think an easy way to do it is actually to start documenting the process along the way.
Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
What you need to do is inoculate yourself against the judgment and learn to take action on your ideas, because the alternative is a life filled with regret.
Rule number 3, stop complaining.
Your entire life changes when you decide to take responsibility for where you're at, for your happiness, for your success, for where you're at in life. When you decide that I am responsible, everything changes. We don't want to, because it's easier to blame somebody else. It's easier to blame somebody else. We don't want to blame the person in the mirror. We don't want to blame ourselves. It's somebody else's fault, right? It's Nina's fault that I'm not happy. Where are you, Nina?
Blame yourself.
It's Nina's fault that I'm not happy, right? It's so good to put the blame on somebody else, because that means I don't have to do anything. But when you take the personal responsibility, when I say it's my fault that I'm not happy, it's my fault that I'm not more successful, it's not my team's fault that my company's not blowing up as big as I wanted to, it's my fault. I need to get better. It's not my trainer's fault that I'm not getting results in the gym, it's my fault, right? I gotta eat better, I gotta work out more. It's my fault. It's your fault. You are where you are because of you. And when you accept that, then you choose to now live a life of being able to make progress. Most people don't want to do that. Most people would rather consume entertainment instead of education. Most people would rather consume entertainment and sit down and watch Netflix and forget about their crappy life than try to fix it. Most channels on YouTube that blow up are not education related, they're entertainment, because people want to shut up their life, shut up their brain, and just be entertained instead of trying to actually fix the problem. If you're a subscriber here, you're probably on the education side, but are you the kind of person who's going to take responsibility and fix your life? Or just shut up the world, blame, complain, wait till you can't have that next vacation, you can't wait till that next weekend or the evenings are coming up because your life sucks. Your life sucks. Is it your fault or is it somebody else's? When you take ownership, that's when life starts to change. And so how do you do it? Great, take ownership, take responsibility. How do you do it? How do you get happier? How do you get more success? What are the steps? What do I have to do? I'll give you a 3-step process. Follow this, it'll change your life. Step number 1, take the mirror test. You go up to a mirror. Go up to the mirror, go in your bathroom, kitchen, living room. Kitchen's kind of weird. Do you have a mirror? Do we have a mirror in our kitchen? No. Living room, bathroom, closet. Find a mirror and ask yourself, why are you not happy? Why are you not more happy? Why are you not more successful? Why are you not whatever? Whatever the biggest negative in your life, why? If the answer comes back that it's somebody else, you need to fix it. You have to keep asking the question. Okay, it's not my wife's fault. It's not my friend's fault. It's not my parents' fault. It's not the president's fault. It's not the government's fault. It's not my school teacher's fault. Why? And it has to be something here. It's got to be something with you. You're not happy because of something you are thinking, because of the story in your head, because of your mindset, your actions. You keep asking the question why you are not happy until it comes back to you. And then you're going to uncover some scary truth. You're going to uncover some story about yourself. And listen, we all have something. Guys, we all have something. There's something we don't like about ourselves. It's okay. Own it. This is the thing that we're going to work on. This is your path. This is your salvation. This is how you fix things. So step number 1 is take the mirror test to figure out what the heck the thing is that is making you so unhappy, or is blocking you from having success in your business. What is it? You got to get to an answer, and it's got to be all about you somehow. Step number 2 is then create your own 254. So it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. It's why I started the 254 Confidence, Black Excellence, Writer Wisdom series, and I want to do more. But I can only do so much. You need to create your own 254. And what I mean by that is you need to now surround yourself with the kind of people, resources, knowledge, information, motivation of that thing that you need to work on. So example, if you need to work on having more belief in your life, then my channel is a great place to be. You should watch a video every single day. You will get more belief in yourself. It will just happen. You take the mirror test, and the answer is, I don't believe in myself enough. That's why I'm not happy. That's why I'm not more successful. Great. I need to surround myself with belief every single day, because chances are you don't have people who believe in you enough. It's just not in your environment. So you need to inject that in. You need to inject it into your daily routine. Watch a video every single day. Great. If it's something else, my channel may not be the right fit for you, but you can get it somewhere else. Whatever you need, whatever that answer is, self-care, self-love, whatever that answer is, then you need to find a way to create your own 254 around that thing, where every day for the next 254 days, maybe for life, you inject it into yourself. You watch a video, you read a book, you listen to a podcast, you have an interview, you do a phone call, whatever it is, every single day. You repeat that habit over and over and over and over again, and it will seep into you, and you will slowly lose that thing. And that thing that has been holding you back for your entire life will now allow you to move forward and actually be happy and actually go after your success. So you take the mirror test, and then 2, you create your own 254 around the thing that you need to work on. And then step number 3 is take immediate action. Just thinking about it, just witnessing it is not enough. Action, action. Think about it for the next 24 hours. What could you do? What could you do today? You're watching this video. After this, you want to develop this skill set, this mindset, this new belief system. That's what you need to work on. You know this thing is holding you back and is limiting you. What are you going to do right now? Just start building some action and momentum towards it. Get out of your head, stop thinking, stop planning, and just do something. I call it the 2% difference. Don't worry about how you're going to get to 100% perfect. You'll never get there anyway. Don't worry about that. Don't plan all the way, because you keep planning, tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're a different person. You're back to your old self. You need immediate momentum. You need action. So take any idea that you have. You wanna be a more belief person? Great. What can you do right now to believe in yourself more? What can you do? What makes your heart go like this? What are you scared of doing? What idea first comes into mind? That idea was given to you for a reason. Do it. ASAP, right now. Commit to somebody. Take that action. Not just researching, not just planning, immediate action. Build momentum. Teach yourself that you're the kind of person who now follows through, who when you get an idea, you take some action on it. Follow that 3-step process. You're unhappy in life? You want more success in life? Take the mirror test. Figure out deep inside you why you're the problem, what you're doing that's limiting yourself. 2, create your own 254 so that you are around it daily, so that when you're around successful people who have the skill, the mindset, the belief system that you need, it seeps into you because you're around it every single day. And then 3, action, momentum, immediately, today, do something. Start showing yourself that you are capable of being that person. Accept responsibility for your life, and you will change your life dramatically for the better.
Rule number 4, tie your self-worth to the effort.
You need to tie your self-worth to the effort, not the results. If you tie your self-worth to the results, to achieving your goals, then you'll only take on things that you think you have a high chance of winning at. You'll constantly quit on your big goals and only go after the small ones. Tie your self-worth to trying, to the effort, to doing it when it's hard. Make yourself proud with the effort that you put in, not just when you win. But if you keep getting up every day and putting in effort that you are proud of, you will win on a level that you never thought was possible. So I just came back from doing my 90-day tour, 23 cities, and one of my goals was I wanted to stay healthy on my tour. One of my vices is it's hard for me to stay healthy when I travel. And that's okay when you're only going for a day or 2 or a week at a time. I ate whatever I wanted and then came back and got back on my healthy journey. But 90 days on the road, that's a lot of time. I could do a lot of damage if I ate like I normally ate. And so I wanted to feel proud of my effort of being able to eat healthy. And so I think it's good to take on difficult things. How do you become proud of your effort? You do things that are difficult to you. If it's easy and you win, You don't care. That's not how you build your self-esteem. But when it's hard and you do it, that's when you start to feel good about yourself. That's when you start to build your pride. That's where you build your self-confidence. And so one of the first stops that we made along the way in Ohio was at Raising Cane's. It's this famous chicken place where they told us you have to go to Raising Cane's. You have to go there. You've got to go. You've got to try their fried chicken. It's the best in the world. Great. At the end of my event, we went, but it wasn't my cheat day yet. Eating healthy, I had to pick 6 days a week. It wasn't my cheat day yet. And so we went. And I went in and I smelled the chicken, and Nina and Danny, my camera guy, went in and they bought it. And I said, Nina, can I have your chicken? I just want to hold it and I want to smell it. And so my mouth is running right now just thinking about it. I took her chicken. Instead of staying home and like you guys go out and eat, no, I want to come. I don't want to take the easy path. I want the difficult way. I want to be proud of my effort. So I took the chicken that she had and I brought it up to my nose and I took a big smell in. It was so good. My mouth was watering so much. And then they had this special sauce, this dipping sauce that I took and I brought it up again. Smelled it. I can smell it right now. And then I give it back to her. Not a single bite. Here you go. Enjoy your chicken. I'm proud of my effort. I'm patting myself on the back. I'm doing things that are difficult in service of my goals, in service of my ambition, but I'm proud of where I am right now, what I'm doing right now, and the small wins along the way. I'm proud of my effort. Now that may seem a little bit crazy of how to stick to a diet, but I think teaching yourself that you can't be around bad food is actually counterproductive. You're teaching yourself that you're not strong. When people say get rid of the junk food from your house, I think you're teaching yourself that you're not strong, that you can't be around it. And then as soon as you go on vacation, as soon as you go to an office party, as soon as you get out of your house, you're screwed. Because you're teaching yourself you have no tolerance, you have no resistance, that you are weak in this area. And so I want to combat that. I want to be proud of the effort I put in and gain strength along the way. And so when my friends are on a diet, I tell them the same thing. A buddy of mine, Mark Drager, is on a diet right now, and he wants to lose an extra 10 pounds. So I told him, here's what you do. Take your favorite food. What's your favorite food? And he said cookies. Take your favorite food, bring it to the office. I want you to be around it. Be around the cookies. Take a smell and then put it down and tell yourself that you are awesome.
I'm stronger than you. Cookies.
Because you're proud of your effort, because you're trying, because you're doing the difficult things instead of taking the easy way out and teaching yourself that you're weak. So how can you be proud of your effort and start making progress towards your goals? I'm going to give you a 3-step process on how to do it. Step number 1 is pick a goal that you're having a hard time with. Pick a goal that you're having a hard time going off and doing. Not something easy, not something that's automatic, not something that you're doing every day that you could just check the box off and say, yeah, I did it. When you do the easy things, you don't feel great about yourself. It's good, it's a little tiny win, but it's the difficult things. What's one goal that you're having a hard time right now accomplishing? Step number 2, ask how can you make yourself proud? What can you do today to make progress on that goal in a way that makes you proud? And that's different for everybody. What makes me proud might be different than you, but something that you could take, an action that you can do that would make you proud of your effort. I gave the same challenge to Alex, who's also on a diet. Alex helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa, and his vice is Big Macs. So I told him, go to McDonald's, order a Big Mac, order it. He loves a Big Mac sauce. Open up the case, smell it. Just smell that extra Big Mac sauce. Ask for the extra Big Mac sauce, so they have to make it fresh for you, right? Take it, smell it, and then go outside and give it to a homeless person because he loves acts of service. You smell it, you give it to a homeless person outside, and then you pat yourself on the back. That's what would make him proud. Take your goal, the one you've been having a hard time on, stop trying to take the easy way out on it, and do something that makes you proud of your effort. That when you come out of it, that difficult thing, you're gonna say, holy cow, I'm awesome. I can't believe I was capable of that. And you get up tomorrow, you do it again, you do it again, you do it again. Step number 3 is share it and celebrate. You just did something amazing. You just did something that you are proud of. Share it and celebrate it. Whether you want to post it to an Instagram story like Mark did, whether you want to just go tell your friends, whether you want to post it on Facebook, tell your best friend, tell your parents, celebrate it yourself. Just celebrate. Put on music, dance, celebrate. You need to celebrate the things that make you feel proud, because when you celebrate it, when you tell people about it, when you keep doing it, it'll motivate you to keep on going. That momentum becomes important. That celebration, that sharing becomes important. And I don't think as entrepreneurs, we often celebrate enough about the effort. We may celebrate the results. Hey, I crossed 1 million views. Hey, I got X subscribers. Hey, I won this award. But what you should be celebrating is the effort of the work you're putting in when it's hard. So number 1, pick a goal you're having a hard time with. 2, find a way to make yourself proud on it today. And then 3, celebrate and share it.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, ignore what others think.
If you live your life based off the opinions of other people, you will never do anything great. Take a look at who you're worried about. People who are not happy with their life. People who never went and took their shot. People who spend their life complaining instead of trying to change something. Is that who you want to be so worried about, what they think about your decisions? If anything, you want to do the exact opposite of what they're telling you to do. You don't want their life. So stop living your life by their rules. So I had an amazing one-on-one with an entrepreneur yesterday at my Q&A session here in Toronto that I do weekly. And I feel for her. She's such a talented, amazing, gifted entrepreneur. And we talked about your purpose coming from your pain. And she went through some massive pain that guided her to this success right now and on her path to personal development. But she's afraid to share what happened. And she said, maybe in a year or 2, like give me a year to work on it and maybe I'll share it. Because she's afraid of what people will think. She's afraid that if it doesn't work out, that she may not be able to get another job. She's afraid of all these things that people might say about her if they found out the truth. The problem is that's your path. I don't care about where you're at right now. I need to know where you've come from. I need to know that you look like me. I need to know that your story is like mine. And so by living in the shadows and being afraid to tell the truth, what you're doing is 1, not letting people connect to you as a real person, right? This fake, perfect version of you isn't something that people can connect to. 2, you make it so that whatever you went through, you're telling yourself that it's shameful, and you're telling other people that it's shameful too. But if you come out and talk about what happened, then the people who feel ashamed about it, they now can come out and say, I'm not the only one. This happens to other people too. I'm a little bit more normal. And 3, if you want to build a business, if you want to create a YouTube channel, if you want to have a podcast, you want to be an author, you want to write a book, that's the thing that's going to actually help take you off. That's the thing. There was a great video that I told her about a woman who gained 70 pounds from having a child. So she's pregnant, she gained 70 pounds and she had a 10-pound baby, and now she had 60 pounds of extra fat on her, right? 60 pounds. So that's a lot. And so she's trying to lose it, and she's working out, and she's eating healthy, and she finally gets down to having 6-pack abs and looking great. And then somebody noticed that when she bent over, that they could see the flaps of skin. When she stood up, it was all 6-pack, but when she bent over, there was flaps of skin. And what most people would have done is deleted that video, pretend like it didn't exist, not talk about that comments, right? Only show the perfect version. Look how much weight I lost. But she did something different. Instead, she said, yeah, that's my body now. That's what happens when you gain 70 pounds in pregnancy and pump out a 10-pound baby. And that became a rallying cry. That one moment of vulnerability, of saying, hey, I'm still not perfect. Like, look at this saggy skin that I still have. That's what brought people to her. Now she's not just another mom who lost weight and did this workout plan and meal plan, right? That connection was real. And now she's built $1 million plus business from selling e-courses and her recipes and everything else that she goes through. That's the thing. This is your competitive advantage. Your purpose, your pain, your story is your competitive advantage. I do not want to learn from you until I know that you've been through what I'm going through. I can't relate to that story, right? I can't tell that story. I can't tell a mom who gained 70 pounds how to lose weight. That's not my story. I can't relate to it. But helping entrepreneurs, I can, because I struggled and I suffered and I was making $300 a month and I was eating the same bean salad lunch every day, and I celebrated with only McDonald's French fries because I couldn't afford to buy it. All of it. I struggle with fear and embarrassment and shame. All of it. I know what it's like. I've been through that. And why I do what I do now is because I want to try to make the path a little bit easier for the next generation of entrepreneurs, for you. I want you to feel like you're not alone. I want you to feel like there's a place you can come to with a beautiful community, a Believe Nation, where we're supporting each other. And there's content every single day across multiple channels that you can go and digest and dive into and hopefully make your path just a little bit easier. Because I wish I had this when I was getting started, when I was a 19-year-old entrepreneur who was insecure and ashamed and embarrassed and not willing to talk to anybody about the problems I was going through. Right? That's the thing that will connect people to you. But if you're so afraid of what people's judgments are going to be, you're never going to get started. I believe humans are built to serve. You're built to serve. You want to help other people. It's hardwired into us. Studies show that the impact of serving other people has the same effect on your brain as food and sex. It's hardwired into you. You want to help other people. And at the same time, you're afraid of judgment. So how do you help other people if you're also afraid of judgment? It's having your foot on the gas and a brake at the same time. You know you're capable of more, but then you're just standing on the same spot. It's the worst. And so you have to let go of the opinions of other people. Some people may not like what you're doing. That's okay. That can't prevent you from service. That can't prevent you from fulfilling your mission. That can't prevent you from living the life you want, because you're going to be 95 years old, looking back on your life and regretting it, knowing you're capable of more, but never taking action. So how do you better deal with criticism? I'm going to give you a 3-step process. Step number 1 is have empathy. Have empathy. If you believe like I believe that humans are built to serve, right? We're built to serve. Then if somebody is being critical and negative when they are built to serve, how bad does their life have to be that is forcing them to act this way? How bad does somebody's life have to be to come to your YouTube video and leave a nasty comment, or to tell you to your face that you suck and your idea is never going to work? How bad does their life have to be? So have some empathy. Like, their life sucks. And they're lashing out at not just you, everybody around them. So have empathy. When you have empathy, it removes the sting out of the words. Right now, it doesn't touch you as much because, if anything, you feel sorry for that person. You don't have to say, hey, I feel so sorry for you. You don't need to go and make it worse or have it go on an ego trip. But just know inside, have empathy, feel sorry for them, and not let it hit you as hard when they're giving you some criticism about your idea or you. Number 2 is look for a gem. A lot of times in the criticism, there's actually something you can learn from. A lot of times when somebody criticizes their idea or leaves a nasty comment on YouTube, you might just write it off of that person's being a hater. Maybe they are, but there might be a kernel of truth. There might be some gem in there that you can use. I think a lot of people are too sensitive. I think if you can only take feedback when somebody sugarcoats it and packages it nicely and say, I love you, I love your channel, I love everything you're doing, I love all your ideas, but there's one little tiny thing that I think if you fix would really help. If that's the only way you can take feedback, you're gonna lose. You're gonna get nasty comments, and some of them are just pure haters and it's their own problem. But sometimes buried within that nasty comment is actually a kernel of truth. There's a gem in there for you. And so if you can remove the sting, right? Have empathy, remove the sting, then look at the comment and see, is there anything from this comment? Is there anything in this critique that I can actually learn to make my idea or my concept better? Look for the gem. And then number 3 is addressed to those who are dealing with their parents, who might be your biggest critic. Understand that your parents are pilgrims. Your parents are pilgrims. Your parents come from a different era. If you're 20 years old right now, as an example, the opportunities available to you using this are things that your parents at 20 years old can't understand. The opportunities available to you right now are insane compared to what your parents had when they're at your same age. And so when they're saying, go get a safe job, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, go be an accountant, go do something you can work at some job forever, that's actually their version of love for you, right? That's empathy. Empathy, step into their shoes. They love you. Chances are your parents love you. I hope. But chances are they do. And so they're trying to give you advice that they would have given themselves X number of years ago, back when they were your age. They just don't understand what's available right now. A lot of times, a lot of the people who are critiquing you, criticizing you, it may be out of love. They just don't understand the path that you see. They don't understand the world that we're living in right now. They don't understand everything that can be created. And so have that empathy for them. Understand that that's where they're coming from. They love you. And again, removes the sting out of the words. And then you can see, how do you want to act? How do you want to react to these people around you that would make you feel proud? Whatever that is in your head, then go and do it.
Your story is your competitive advantage. Why you do what you do, where you came from, your history, all of the baggage, the imperfections, the vulnerability, all of that, your story is the thing that's going to help you win as an entrepreneur. This is one of the biggest misconceptions and one of the hardest things for us to do as entrepreneurs, to put ourselves out there and share the story. We want to be perfect. We see these big brands. We see people popping off on Instagram and their perfect life and their perfect planes and their perfect marketing. And we feel not good enough and we feel like we have to be like them, but people can smell through it. Think about it. You're going up against some big company, right? Whatever industry you're in, there's some big players. More established than you, bigger budgets than you, deeper pockets than you. They've been there forever. They've got the brand name, the history, the reputation. People know who they are, and you're going up against them. Why would somebody buy from you instead of them? Because of your story. Because you're going to make me feel special. Because in you, I see myself. I see somebody who cares. I see somebody who's going to go off and make a difference where I have no connection to big company, to big corporation. But what most entrepreneurs do is they try to look the part of being the big corporate. They have a really formal website. They have a really formal photography. They have a really formal bio. At best, you're going to be a junior version of that big company. I need to know why you do what you do. This is how you win. Your heart is your competitive advantage. Why do you care so much? And if you believe, like I believe, that your purpose comes from your pain, that whatever you're doing right now, your deep purpose is to help other people who currently are who you used to be, then I need to know what pain you've come through. Because you might have the answers, you might have the solution, your product, your service, your coaching, your content, whatever, could actually be the solution. But until I know that you've come through the thing that I'm struggling with, I'm not going to listen to you, because I'm going to think, yeah, right, this person doesn't get it. This person doesn't understand me. This person doesn't care. Meanwhile, you do care. Meanwhile, it's the most important thing. Meanwhile, you care way more than anybody else cares. But until you actually share your story, nobody's going to listen. This is one of the hardest things for me to overcome when I started my business, because I always felt, well, nobody cares about my story. Like, who cares? It's not about me. I have no need to be in front of a camera. I'm introverted and shy by nature. I know you may not believe that in watching these videos, but I am. And I remember fighting with my agent, Steve, many times. Steve, nobody cares about what I've done and my story, and I don't like the spotlight on me, so why does it matter? And after years of fighting, and hopefully what took me forever to figure out, if you guys get this in this video, you'll be way further ahead than I was when I was getting started. People learn through your story. And if you've got a message, you telling your story actually perpetuates the message. So you telling your story is not about you and your ego and how you look and how people see you and prizes and awards and anything. It's about making an impact. Because when I know that you've been through what I'm going through, or I know how much you care about something, I'm much more likely to want to hire you. So let me give you a couple examples. I remember I was doing a radio show, and when I first got started in coaching, it was through a live radio show that I was doing once a week. I remember one person calling in, and he had a landscaping business. And I asked, okay, well, what's so different about your landscaping company? Because he was frustrated that all of these teenagers and high school kids were eating up his business, where they say, hey, we'll landscape your yard and we'll do it for minimum wage. And here he is trying to make more than minimum wage. And he's worried that he has to compete on price and he can't do it against these teenagers. And so I said, well, why do you care so much about landscaping, man? Like, why did you pick this business? And I hope for all of you, please, that you have a story, right? If you're picking a business just to make money, you've lost already. You've lost. That the entrepreneur success formula is you got to combine what you love doing with what brings value to other people. You have to love it. You have to have a story. If there's no story, you've lost. Go pick something else that you actually can't connect to. But I asked him, why did you start this business? What does it mean to you? And he said, my mom was my hero. And when I was young, she always took me out to the yard and we did landscaping together. And it's always a connection to her. And then there was a line that he said that really caught me, where he said, every lawn that I go to, every customer's lawn that I go help, I treat it like it's my mom's lawn. And right there, it's like, oh my gosh, this guy cares so much. Like, do you think the average high school, after school, summer job, do you think they care as much about your yard as this guy does, right? If he's treating it like it's his mom's garden? And by sharing that story now, you'd be willing to pay more. I'd be willing to pay him way more than a high school kid, because I think that he's going to give a way better service, provide way more value, because I understand the story. But if I just went to the website and I looked at his services and I go to some giant corporation who does it, or I go to see some teenager who does it, the websites are going to look pretty similar. The services are going to look pretty similar, but the heart and soul is the thing that's missing. That's why he's going to give the best value compared to the other extremes. Same thing for you. You love the thing that you're doing. I hope. If not, find something else. You love the thing that you're doing. I need to understand your passion. I need to see it. And you're afraid of not looking good on camera. You're afraid of not being articulate. That doesn't matter. I'm not hiring a landscaping company based off of how professional their video is. Often the more professional it is, the worse it is. Because when there's big lights and cameras and setups and everything else, you get a lot more nervous. It's like, oh my gosh, you got all these people watching me, I better deliver. And then you end up giving a really boring, fake, nervous, scared, anxiety version of your story that nobody's going to connect to. Take out your phone and press record. I don't care if there's background music or lower thirds or the perfect lights or microphone if you're a landscaping company. Now, if you're a videographer, your stuff better be on fire. It better be on point, because I'm hiring you to produce video. But if you're a landscaping company or something totally different, has nothing to do with video production, the most important thing is for you to be able to get your story out there, to be creative, to be authentic, to imagine that there's somebody here that you're talking to instead of just a camera, to get your message out there. That is why people will buy from you. That is why people will connect with you. That is why people will listen to you, because they feel like you deeply, 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 deeply care about this thing. And I know you do, but it's just not anywhere. I can't find it on your social. I can't find it on your YouTube. I can't find it on your website. I can't find it anywhere. Not the heart, because you're trying to be perfect and professional like big corporation. Your story is your competitive advantage. One of the things that really helped me was leaning into the fact that I'm shy and introverted and afraid to get in front of the camera and afraid to get on stage and no need to be famous. That's led to actually a lot of opportunities. The more I lean in on those things, the more things come to me. I remember doing a speech at Brendan Burchard's growth event, and I wasn't as myself. I was more professional. I was more just giving advice. It was great advice. People loved it. And then he invited me back to speak at his private mastermind. And now these groups are paying $30,000 to $50,000 to be in that room. So now there's a higher pressure, like the first one, the ticket was maybe $100. The ticket to this one is $30,000 to $50,000. Like, oh my gosh, extra pressure. And I just leaned in on it. I walked up on stage and I came after Dean Graziosi. So Dean spoke and then it was me. And Dean was using the Flipboard. There's like a paper beside you and you're flipping one page at a time. And I'd never used a Flipboard in any of my presentations. I've had PowerPoint in the past, or I normally just get up and talk, but I thought, okay, I'm going to try to use the Flipboard. And I didn't know how to use it. I always felt like I was blocking somebody, so I'm hiding behind the Flipboard trying to write it. And it ended up being really funny. And Brendan took me aside after, and he said, that was the best. That was so much better than you did in Arizona at my first event. And Arizona was great, but you need to lean in on your goofiness. You need to lean in on your shyness. You need to lean in on the things that make you nervous. If you're nervous, say you're nervous. If you have anxiety, say you have anxiety. I'd led with something like that. It's like, I'm scared. I'm an introvert. I'm shy, and I've got my heart beating like crazy right now, standing up here in front of all you guys. That's how I led my speech, something like that. And so leaning in on that has helped me. It's a lot more real. Yeah, it's a lot more real. So you don't feel like you have to be fake. You can just lean in on the thing that makes your heart go crazy like this. Lean in on it. If you were to make a video to say, I want to tell you my story. If I go back to the landscaping company, I want to tell you why I do what I do. And normally I hate making videos, and this makes me really anxious and nervous, and I'm scared to do this. But landscaping is just so important. It's so important to me because, and then you tell the story with the mom, wouldn't you want to hire that person? Wouldn't you want to pay more for that person? Right? So leaning in on your story, on the thing that you're worried that you're going to get judged for, is the way that you're going to win. Your story is your competitive advantage. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to go up against these big corporations and feel like you have to be fancy like them, where all you're doing is being boring, being vanilla, and being a junior version of them. Your story is your competitive advantage. You need to start getting it out there. The thing that makes you go boom, 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 boom like that, that's what you have to share. And that's how you start to win. Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome.
If you want to learn Evan's top 10 rules for success, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
The fastest way to get what you want in life is to model success. Be super clear on what you want out of life and then go find people who've accomplished exactly that and learn from them.